Next guest returning to our studio. It's been a long time, and at least a decade since he's been here, and he is a phenomenal musician, specifically with the acoustic guitar, which is why I'm surprised he's wearing a Pantera shirt this morning. But it is nice to see, and he's going to be performing at the Sellersville Theater tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome back Andy McKee to our studio this morning. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks so much for having me back.
Our pleasure. Listen, we've been, we go way back as far as our fandom goes, and had you by our studio on a couple of occasions, but just to refamiliarize, or maybe even for people who are not familiar with you at all, you first got on the radar to most people with a YouTube video that you made. It was a song called Drifting.
Yes, sir.
And how long ago was that?
20 years.
20 years ago.
Yeah, Not much longer after the Day at the Zoo, if you're talking about relatively video. So you caught viral traction before viral traction was really a thing.
Yeah, man. I don't even think viral video was a term at that point. But
that's amazing to think about, being at the foundational thing that is now it's just ginormous. Yeah.
YouTube's everywhere.
I want to see how many. Nick is pulling up the video now. I want to see how many views it has. It's down with 61 million views.
Yeah.
61 million.
For fingerstyle acoustic guitar.
Right.
I never would have imagined.
Well, Preston was mentioning the Pantera shirt, and we were talking about this. And so to bring people up to speed, your original love was you were playing to Metallica and Joe Satriani, and you were the shredding was your thing.
Yeah.
Electric guitar. What started the love affair with acoustic and the style that you eventually developed?
Well, it's like that. Remember that Monster Ballads commercial that would come on,
Right.
Yes.
It's like every bad boy has a soft side. That's kind of my deal.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, man. I got into the acoustic a bit more. In my late teens, I found players like Michael Hedges in particular, and guys like Preston Reed and Don Ross. Maybe people aren't too familiar with these guys, but it's this instrumental acoustic guitar stuff that it resonated with me so much. They were covering like melody and harmony and rhythm all at once, and some percussive things on the guitar body.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just love how it's all there.
It's wonderful when you see people that are doing things with an instrument that you hadn't seen before. Like when Stanley Jordan came along, and you were like, how is that guy doing that? And Eddie Van Halen's another example, doing some unique things on the fretboard. And your percussive techniques, you didn't invent that.
No.
But you certainly have your own style of doing that, right?
Yeah. Some percussive elements on the guitar go back maybe to flamenco is maybe some of the origins of that. And then there was a player named Preston Reed that really shook my world, with that, and made me want to get into it and find how can I get a kick drum sound? How can I get, sort of a toms, snare, whatever.
Yeah. So. There was another, you remember Gabriela and Rodrigo?
Oh, yes.
We used to have them in from time to time. Are they still out doing their thing? And are you friends with them? Or?
I've honestly never met them.
No kidding.
We've never crossed paths. You'd think we would somewhere, at a festival or something, but we've never met.
I would think that the community is even though there's so many people play guitar, but the well-known ones might be, aware of each other or friends with each other.
Yeah. Somehow we've just never crossed paths.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so what's going on in your world? You're playing the Sellersville Theater tonight. Is this behind a current album that you have out that you're promoting?
Yeah, this summer, I've got a new album come out this summer. So it's not out yet, but I'm doing some new tunes on stage.
Okay.
That'll be on there. And then I've also got, since I mentioned that Drifting video being 20 years old, I'm doing a 20th anniversary of that album, which is Art of Motion.
Okay.
Those tunes have just kind of evolved.
20 years.
Yeah,
it still blows my mind.
Dude.
It blows my mind. Yeah.
Well, I want to dive right in and give some people a little taste of what you do. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more. Maybe play another song if that's okay. We didn't discuss this ahead of time at all.
That's the way we roll.
Happy to.
Yeah. So what would you like to play first for us?
Sure. Well, I might as well get a little aggressive here with some of that percussive stuff. So I'll play this tune called Hunter's Moon.
Hunter's Moon.
That's it.
Excellent. And Andy's going to be at Sellersville Theater tonight. So this is Andy McKee on MMR. Here we go.
Yeah, man.
Andy McKee in our studio at the Sellersville Theater tonight. It's hypnotic to watch
is.
you play. It's amazing. I have so many questions about your technique because people have to ask you all the time.
Yeah.
About your technique and how you do what you do. Number one, I notice, obviously, as somebody who plays finger picking, you do have to grow your nails.
Yeah.
And I notice your thumbnail is pretty long. Is that the longest one?
Yeah, actually, I keep the other ones kind of short for tapping on the fretboard. So
Okay.
Do you put nail polish on it to keep it strong or something? Because you break a nail, it could F up your show.
Yeah. I just tend to eat a lot of Jell-O. But then I've also got like a nail kit, so in case it does break, I just put on a fake one.
All right.
Real? No kidding.
Yeah.
For real. I was going to ask if there's ever an occasion where it breaks, it's like, oh, cancel a show?
That's
no.
it.
You leave
Ladies and
press on nails.
gentlemen, Andy has broken a nail.
Yeah.
Gotta get an
The show is
endorsement.
canceled.
Yeah.
And I did want to ask about the finger tapping and the harmonics that you're pulling off with just your right hand there.
Yeah, man.
How do you do that? Can I see
Right.
that?
Sure. So
Are you pinching it or?
Yeah, I'm fretting the harmonic with my index finger and then plucking it with my thumbnail there. So you get the...
No way.
That's that hypnotic sound.
yeah.
You're providing your own accents as you're playing.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I couldn't see your thumb doing that.
Yeah.
And I thought you were just touching it with your forefinger. So you're plucking it, you're holding the harmonic with your forefinger and plucking it with your thumb.
Right, yep.
It's so efficient. That's why it sounds like three people are playing the guitar at the same time.
Yeah, in my left hand would be like fretting the chords at that point. So my
Yeah.
left hand's doing the chord, right hand's doing the melody on the harmonics.
Wow.
It's funny though, Andy. Like when you're doing the slapping portion of it, like my brain just goes to, well, he's playing the guitar wrong. You know, like the way that it looks, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's the most common question you get. How is it just one person making all of these sounds?
Yeah. That's always what comes up. And so it's good to explain these kind of things a bit on the radio. So you get
To that point, so with this, and Preston was invoking the names of other people who do similar sort of things. Have you ever thought of caucusing with everyone and designing the quintessential guitar for this kind of playing? Or is a regular guitar the quintessential guitar?
Yeah. I mean, this is essentially a regular guitar. This is actually my signature model. I'm happy to say this is from Michael Greenfield, is the builder. He's an independent luthier up in Montreal. But
Is it built stronger for the percussive aspect of it?
Yeah, it does have some additional bracing.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you might knock a brace loose inside when you're banging on it, so then you'll get that repaired. But
I have another question. So hearing you play and Preston, I don't know if it like memories. I was big into, and I still love fusion jazz and Lee Ritenour and who else am I thinking of? Pat Metheny. That sort of just where you're transported. So a lot of times the people that you're into are the shredders and the guitar, those kind of people. A lot of times they're motivated. There's a little bit of an aggression and so on and so forth. What makes you write a song? I mean, because we tend to think of this as more ethereal, more transcendental almost.
Yeah.
What makes for a good scenario in which you're going to write music? What kind of frame of mind delivers the best music to you?
Yeah, well, keeping kind of the channel open is what I like to think of. So like having an open mind and letting things happen. I tend to experiment with altered tunings on the guitars.
Okay.
That's a big part of what I do. So I like to put it in a different tuning and then just kind of see what
comes
find.
from there.
Yeah, go fishing, you could say. See what I can pull up. And
That's interesting. Do you do like any off the wall tuning? Any like stuff that other people aren't doing?
Yeah, I mean that last song actually, the tuning from low to high is C, G, D, F, B flat, D.
Okay.
So
what is a normal tuning of a guitar?
It's E, A, D, G, B, E.
Yeah, so you're all over the damn
every
place.
string almost is different. Yeah,
Wow.
other than the fourth string. So yeah.
I wanted to ask also about your posture, because when you play, you're really hunched over. You have to, in order to get to where you're playing the guitar, you're really bent over like that. Do you ever have any neck or back problems from that?
I have had some back stuff. I usually play standing up, actually. So this is
really?
Yeah.
I would think it'd be easier to sit down, unless you're the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because some classical guys will angle their guitar almost straight up and down.
yeah.
And I didn't know if a position like that would be beneficial to you.
Yeah, that can definitely help you get up the fretboards.
Okay.
With that sort of vertical positioning. But with the percussive stuff, see, I was kind of hitting on the lower side of the guitar.
Yes.
So kind of got to reach all the way over there as well.
Okay.
Makes it tricky.
Now, I saw some pictures of you in preparation for this interview, and there's a picture of you using a really funky looking instrument.
Yes.
It's got it looks like a regular guitar, except the body has this kind of growth out of it that goes up to the neck. It's like a separate neck on the guitar, but an acoustic guitar is not like a double neck that you might see like Jimmy Page play or something like that. What is this really interesting looking instrument?
That's called a harp guitar.
A harp guitar. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they've been around for centuries, actually, in different shapes and sizes, numbers of strings and all that. All you really need is one string that isn't over the fretboard to be qualified as a harp guitar. Mine's got 6 sub-bass harp strings.
Oh.
And so that's what that is. Yeah, and I've got it out on the road with me. I've got it. I'll have it tonight at Sellersville.
I got to see you use that thing because you're already all over the place with 6 strings, and if you've got 12, and then those are bass strings.
If you start blowing into the thing, game over. Yeah, I don't know what's left to do if you're playing a harp, guitar, and drums at the same time. Just put the cymbals between your knees, and
there you go.
All set.
How in demand are you for instructing, giving seminars, and things like that? I would imagine people want to have you out regularly.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really glad you mentioned that. Actually, I have a guitar sort of retreat that I've done for 10 years now. I've done it in New York and California, Nashville. This year I'm doing it actually in Kansas, where I'm from. And people come, from all over the world to it. And it's all focused on this kind of new way of playing acoustic guitar, modern way of playing acoustic guitar.
It's very cool. I have to ask also, and this is just a side note, I was doing a little research on you. You played on Josh Groban's Christmas album?
That's right.
All right. So what's it like? We have fun with Josh Groban. We think he'd be a great guest. We do a thing where you play one of his songs and I play a drop. But is he a cool guy?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Hilarious and cool. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Here, do we want to do Andy our little thing? This is whenever we mention Josh Groban's name, this comes up. We do that.
You raise me up. Shut the up.
We don't let him finish. Yeah. We always tell him to shut the F up.
But we know he'd probably get a kick out of that.
Totally. Yeah. You would find that hilarious for sure.
Awesome. Are there any rock stars that you found out that are fans of yours?
Yeah, man. I've been fortunate to become friends with like all my favorite guitar players. Really, man. Eric Johnson is the reason I started playing guitar.
Legendary.
So we've toured together and stayed in touch.
Man.
And, Steve Lukather.
Steve Lukather's.
Did you watch that Yacht Rock documentary?
Oh yeah, man.
Because Steve was featured in that quite heavily, and it's just really cool to see what incredible musicians those guys are, but be celebrated the way that they were in that documentary. But that yacht rock genre sort of became a thing unto itself, and it highlights what great musicians they are, but it also sort of narrowed them to a certain sellable genre. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was like a band because they were kind of studio musicians,
right?
And then they all came together and started writing amazing pop rock tunes. Man, I love Toto. Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned Eric Johnson, so then by default, people like Steve Vai and you know Steve.
Yep.
Wow, it's pretty cool.
Man, yeah. Saw him. He had that tour with Satriani.
We had Satriani on recently. And just again another. They're just unbelievable. Have you been on? You've played with Prince, have you not? This was in Australia.
It was.
What was that like?
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
I never would have imagined in a billion years something like that would happen. But he saw me on YouTube, and liked what I was doing and was like, you want to come to Paisley Park? And
did he himself call you?
When I got to the hotel in Manchester, which is outside Minneapolis. I got an email from his management to my management, and, we didn't even think it was real.
Yeah.
But, ended up going up there and rehearsing, and we did a tour. It's kind of a special guest.
God almighty.
Yeah.
Okay, so he calls, you pick up the phone. What's that like?
Mr. McKee. Yeah? This is Prince.
What? Did you have it? Who is this? Who is this?
That was, it's just unbelievable, and it's like, we're going to have the limo come pick you guys up at the lobby here in half an hour, blah, blah, blah. And went and rehearsed, he was amazing, man, and just an incredible musician.
I mean,
if anybody doesn't know, if you think he's just some pop artist person, I mean, he was an incredible musician. He could play every instrument on that stage.
What did he want you for in particular? Was there something he was looking to achieve, or something that he wanted you to
I'm still to this day actually not entirely sure, man. I'm this weird acoustic guitar guy.
Yeah,
but, I brought an electric guitar and did some stuff on electric, but at the end of the tour, I was kind of like, I'm not sure this is.
Yeah.
I'm the guy, but if you ever want to do like an acoustic album of your stuff, let me know. I would be all.
So he
over it.
wanted to continue with you, but you thought you weren't a right
I
fit?
felt awkward as
Yeah.
everything, man.
Even in your scrubs with your Jerry curled hair hanging over and your Purple Rain look.
Yeah, it's I got my thing here with the solo acoustic, and I love doing it.
Yeah.
And I've done some '80s arrangements, in the past, and so I thought, man, if you ever want to do something like that, let me know. And I thought I'd never hear from him again, but
wow.
Now we know you won't.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. All right, well, we have time for one more tune, if you don't mind,
no,
Andy.
I'd love
What
to, man.
what do you want to play now?
Well, let's see. Maybe I'll do something a little more mellow for the folks.
Okay.
And this is a tune that I wrote for my dad. He got my first guitar when I was 13.
And this has an interesting tuning too, or are you okay?
And we're pretty much there now. So,
right.
E, C, D, G, A, D. And
you just tune by ear?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. With headphones on.
Yeah.
Just got to listen for that kind of frequency to go away. That's
All right, so you wrote this for your dad?
Yeah.
What's this called?
simply called For My Father.
For My Father. All right,
Yeah.
this is Andy McKee performing at Sellersville Theater tonight.
So it's don't you feel, Preston, that you without lyrics you know the story of his father?
Yeah. Said the same thing about, and by the way, it's Andy McKee, Sellersville Theater tonight. The last time Andy was here, like over 10 years ago, you wrote a song that you had for your child. And it kind of, we could pick up what the day was like in the child's life by listening to not only the melody, but the tempo and the dynamics and all that stuff. And you really paint a picture very well with your music.
Thank you, man. That means everything to me. That's what this instrumental stuff's about. It always has meant to me, is like kind of painting a picture, telling a story just with music. You know?
Because and for whatever it is, it's as pure. Like I have a catch in the back of my throat because it is that as those I'm seeing snapshots of moments, and I don't even know what those moments are, but I know the feeling that's coming through in the moments, and that's everything that music does. You know.
Man.
So we mentioned we first, heard about you all those years ago through YouTube. Where do you like to what do you like to use for your social to get your word out about you? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Right. Killing it on OnlyFans these days. Oh, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of foot stuff because Kathy is.
Me too, buddy.
It's dog eat dog out there.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But Facebook, Instagram, and I guess Threads, which is that kind of thing with Instagram. Those are the main ones.
Okay, but not YouTube so
I'm
much
on
anymore?
YouTube as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I haven't been real hyperactive on there, but I might be picking that back up a little bit. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Just do the search on Andy McKee, and we'll post on PrestonSteve.com on our information and socials on how you can follow Andy and find out where he's playing when he's not at the Sellersville Theater, which, by the way, the show is tonight at 8 o'clock. You can get tickets through ST94.com. Don't miss them. It's a real treat. In fact, I have a couple of pair of tickets to give away.
Oh, nice.
Hey, all right.
We're going to take some texts, okay? So text the word Andy to 39333, and we're going to grab a couple of people at random. We'll give you tickets to go see the show tonight. Andy! And there it is. Exactly. Dude, it's great to see you. We hope it's not another decade before you come through
No doubt,
again.
man. Hey, I'll come back through anytime, man. I'll let you guys know when I'm around, and hopefully we can make it work.
Excellent. We appreciate it. Andy McKee, everybody.
All right. Thanks, man.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.